Strange, the house is located under the 850-ton rock in the middle of the desert. There was a house that suddenly appeared. It was located under a giant rock in the middle of the arid and remote desert of Mexico. Many explorers, researchers and tourists have flocked to this place to find out. Many curious people think that the house resembles a Hobbit house in Hollywood movies. So, who is the origin and owner of this house? A few years ago, Don Benito Hernandez, 70, from Mexico decided to build a house under an 850-ton rock. The house is located in the Ocampo Flora and Fauna Reserve in the Coahuila Desert, northern Mexico. Inside the house there are 3 rooms: living room, kitchen and dining room. The one-of-a-kind house built by Benito Hernandez attracts visitors in an unusual way because it is located deep in the Coahuila Desert, unaffected by the coronavirus, when the disease unfortunately occurs around the world. San Jose de los Piedras is an area that has attracted many tourists due to its prehistoric cave paintings and long hiking trails. Gold prospectors and enthusiasts of archaeology and paleontology also flock to the area. Mr. Hernandez said he liked that his house had become a tourist destination and always welcomed all visitors from home and abroad. Here we are not affected by any disease, and I believe that tourists do not have to fear when coming to this desert. Here there is no disease, nothing at all, said Mr. Hernandez. The local government suggested that Hernandez should charge reporters and visitors. However, the 70-year-old man refused and opened the door to visitors for free. Hernandez, who was dubbed the man of the caves by his neighbors, began construction on this rustic home decades ago in San Miguel, a remote environmentally protected area far from Piedras Negras, 400 kilometers, and about 800 kilometers from Texas. He first saw the rock's strangely shaped existence about 60 years ago when he was 8 years old and never forgot it. I thought, one day, when I grow up, I will get married and have children, and then come back here, he said. 20 years later, he bought the land and he and his wife set out to transform the site into a real home, the story ending like a fairy tale when the house was completed. The heavy stone block above acts as a roof. Inside the house there is a wood stove for heating, using gas lamps for lighting. The house is still comfortable despite the extreme temperatures outside. Inside the 3-room house is still very pleasant while the outside temperature can drop to -7 degrees Celsius, or climb to a sweltering 47 degrees Celsius. That's thanks to the rock that protects against inclement weather. An interesting experience that visitors come here is to sleep in a house like a cave under the rock, and watch the stars in the desert when night falls. The great thing is that he will not charge visitors to stay at his house. He feels happy that people like his house. He will not bring out the house of great passion he lives in to do business. Not only attracting tourists, this unique house is questioned by some people for a high price. Someone paid Mr. Hernandez nearly 2 million pesos for this property, but he vowed not to sell at any price. I have a wife and 7 children. We will live here until we hear the call of the Lord. I'm not going anywhere, Hernandez said. The stone oozes fresh blood. How can a stone bleed? The mystery behind involves an emperor 600 years ago. Recently, a farmer in Fujian while going up the mountain to dig bamboo shoots accidentally discovered a strange stone. Unexpectedly, the stone was lighter than usual. Moreover, after being hit, the stone oozes red liquid like blood. Seeing a special stone, the farmer immediately brought it home and called everyone in the village to come and see it. Some people think that it is dragon blood stone, a precious stone like amber and cinnabar, red in color, very hard and smooth. The story of the bleeding stone has attracted the attention of scientists. They went to the locality to investigate, and were amazed to discover that the stone monster that the farmer picked up had the same structure as the stone capable of healing Ming Chengzu, an emperor of the Ming dynasty. The stone cures all diseases. Accordingly, the healing stone for Emperor Ming Chengzu was discovered in early 2007 at a temple called Haiping, also in Fujian. It was actually a stele placed in the temple. Every time it rains, this stele will exude a blood-red liquid. People here say that they can get water from this stele for children to drink when they have fever, cold and cough. Surprisingly, every time they drink it, they are cured. History books 600 years ago recorded that this stone stele is a kind of medicine, can cure all diseases. At that time, Emperor Ming Chengzu suddenly fell ill. The royal physician in the palace could not cure the king. Then they asked for the help of monks at Haiping Pagoda. The monk in the temple brought this stele to the capital to prepare medicine, and the emperor was indeed cured. Why can a stone cure diseases? Is it related to spirituality? According to traditional Chinese medicine, man can be in harmony with nature, and all things in nature are medicinal, so it is not surprising that many stones are used as medicinal herbs. And what is the real cause? To find the answer to this mystery, experts have carefully examined the structure and material of the stone, as well as the stele at Haiping Pagoda. It turns out that this rock contains a large amount of elements such as calcium, iron, magnesium and several others. These elements are oxidized, so when rain falls on them, they will turn red. Regarding the ability to cure diseases, experts have speculated that, because the water flowing from the stone stele contains a lot of calcium, it has a very good antipyretic effect. As for the stone that the farmer picked up, it has a short lifespan, so its hardness is not high. The fact that the stone bleeded could be due to the recent rain, so it was soaked in water. Then, the experts decided to bring the stone back to the research room to learn more about it. This is a body suspected of being an alien, causing a stir in 1996 in Russia. Currently, scientists have successfully deciphered this corpse. Researching tiny alien corpses in Russia. After 26 years since it was discovered in Russia in 1996, the truth behind the tiny body of the alien dwarf has recently been revealed. In 1996, in Ojolsk in the city of Chelyabinsk, Russia, an old woman named Tamara Vasilyevna Prosvirina happened to find a living tiny human near her home and brought her home. Due to the strange appearance, the body is only 25 centimeters long, a hairless head, many black spots, large eyes occupy most of the face. Many people speculate that this is a flesh and blood alien. And it's still alive. According to the Russian newspaper Komsomolskaya Pravda, the Star Academy research team underwent a 3-year study. After a series of tests, such as a forensic examination, the results of the gnomish alien, the nickname given to this deformed body, were published. In fact, this creature belongs to the Earth. The baby was discovered in August of that year by an old Russian woman named Tamara Vasilyevna Prosvirina. She recounted that at that time she heard crying. When she reached the nearby cemetery, she found a small body, with a rather large head and eyes. However, Ms. Prosvirina is not afraid of this. She brought the alien home and took care of it like a baby. She affectionately named this unnamed creature Alyoshenka. The little alien is about 25 centimeters long. In addition to her disproportionately large head, this girl has brown skin, a hairless body, a face covered with black spots, with a pair of large eyes that cover almost half of her face. This incident was quickly discovered by the people around. They thought this was an alien creature, and the old woman Prosvirina must have been very crazy to treat this strange creature like a normal child to take care of. Seeing this, one day Prosvirina's neighbor called the hospital and asked to take her to the psychiatric ward for treatment. The little alien lacked her care and died slowly at home. But only Mrs. Prosvirina mourned the unfortunate passing of the alien girl. This little girl's body was stolen in the late 90s, the mummy was carried around, until the police caught the man who stole it. He has appeared at least twice in a documentary on Japanese television. Many experts and witnesses believe that this is definitely an alien, because Alyoshenka's skeleton has more than 20 differences compared to normal people. After the girl's body was confiscated by the police, a police investigator named Benderlin set out to find out the story. He ignored the boss's request that don't interfere in this, and despite his wife's displeasure, he kept this mummy in the refrigerator, and then handed it over to the Star Academy. The institute's research team then hoped to be able to determine through forensic surgery the true identity of this unnamed body. After 3 years of research, team member Galina Semenkova revealed, "We conducted a series of tests on the mummy with the help of forensic experts, and the results obtained confirmed that this was a human infant." It has been hypothesized that the child's deformity was caused by contamination from the 1957 Kashtim disaster at Mayak, a kiln that produces plutonium for nuclear weapons and fuel recycling. The accident was the third deadliest nuclear disaster in history, contaminating the vicinity of more than 20,000 square miles, leaving 27 million people with health effects due to direct exposure to radioactive substances. Local autopsies experts say they have all kinds of baby bodies who died at birth with severe disfigurement after the disaster. Team member, Galina Semenkova said. However, the mummies were destroyed after the experiment, and Galina and his research team were unable to explain why the results were hidden until recently. But through cases like this, it can be seen how terrible the consequences of nuclear technology for humanity are. Many people to this day are still skeptical about the theory that Alyoshenka is an alien. In 2003, the body of a humanoid creature with a similar appearance was found in Atacama, Chile. It also has many anomalous characteristics compared to normal humans. And it's not fake. The team collected the perfect DNA sample from the mummy's right anterior rib. When observed on a microscope, it is found that the inside of the ribs contains bone marrow. In 2018, a geneticist at Stanford University said it was someone with a genetic mutation. In Kashtim, people still remember Alyoshenka's gloomy fate. Very few people here name their baby Alexei. Who would want their child to be ridiculed at school as the tiny man of Kashtim? Wrote Komsomolskaya Pravda newspaper. Strange true story about a fish. It happened around the years 94 to 95. There are 5 people going fishing. After they grilled the fish to eat, a voice was heard. They eventually discovered that the voice was coming from the fish itself. Everyone panicked, and they took a picture of the half-eaten fish when a human face appeared. In Taiwan, this strange story was reported by the press in the 90s. Especially, after it was broadcast by Knights of the Rose, a popular Taiwanese TV show, was caused a great commotion. To this day, the Taiwan people often talk passionately about this story. It is considered strange tales from Lao's version of the modern times. Strange story, fish speak human language. In Chiayi, Taiwan, there is a young couple whose husband is a religious believer. The two made an appointment with 3 other people to go to the stream in Kaohsiung to travel and have a picnic. Consists of a couple in Tainan and a 34-year-old surnamed Chen. The 5-person picnic plan is fishing and barbecue. After the 2 drove to the Changshan stream, the man surnamed Chen was in charge of fishing. At sunset, which was also dinner time, he caught a tilapia about 4 kilograms. Because they were so hungry, they just cleaned the fish briefly and put it on the grill. When the smell of grilled fish rose and everyone was eating and drinking happily, suddenly a terrifying scene appeared. Someone heard an old woman say, "Is fish meat delicious?" The old lady spoke in Taiwanese. 5 people looked around. Since this is a desolate place with no people, people are afraid to know who is talking. While bewildered, the same sentence resounded again, "Is fish meat delicious?" 5 people followed the voice to search. Finally, they widened their eyes and discovered that the voice was coming from the fish that had been baked. The fish's mouth is open to talk. The 5 of them were so scared that their internal organs were turned upside down. The things that the 3 of them ate, they all vomited up. Photo of a fish, reveal a human face. People try to think how scary this scene is. The outdoor scene is uninhabited. This scary incident happened. Wouldn't it be easy to be shocked if you were a coward right away? After checking again, they found that the part of the fish that was eaten showed a human face. Because of the rather peculiar situation, someone took a picture of this yokai fish with a camera. 3 people immediately vomited and were taken to the hospital for treatment. During the medical examination, the 3 told the medical staff the story of the fish that could talk. They swore that even though it was strange, it was completely real. However, because they did not see it with their own eyes, no one believed it at that time. The next day, the strange thing happened again. The man surnamed Chen, who caught the fish, died unnaturally at the age of 34. Because the cause of death was unknown, the doctor had to issue a death certificate stating that he died of heart paralysis. And the man in Chiayi was afraid to go to find a sorcerer to summon the soul. The worst is yet to come. When the photo of the fish at the scene was film washed, anyone who saw the image was shocked. The part of the fish caught with chopsticks revealed the old woman's face, eyes, nose and mouth were clearly visible. It's like a horror movie. Like that, for a long time, the Taiwanese people who knew this story did not dare to eat tilapia fish anymore. This is a true story that was published in Taiwanese newspapers and television in the years 94 to 95. To this day it remains an unsolved mystery.